is it's not an easy read, but it is some of the most beautiful and strange and interesting poetry to come out of World War One. Another good World War One book that people might not be so familiar with is Company K by William March, which it's just like these very short, each chapter is told by a different soldier in one company. They're usually like a page or two, and it's these just fantastic, strange psychological portraits of men at war. What else? What am I at? I gave you three, right? I mean, Grant's memoirs, Ulysses S. Grant's memoirs. I'm sort of betraying the novel category a bit. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff. I thought Exit West was really good. Mohsin Hamid's recent novel, told from a sort of a civilian perspective. Particularly the first half is a sort of civilian perspective as a city is gradually being taken over by what seems to be like an ISIS-like group. And I thought that was a really, really powerful book.
The Marine Corps should get you to develop their annual reading list. Well, Phil, thank you so much for taking the time to come on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Great talking to you, and really enjoy the podcast, and thrilled to be on.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate it. You can find most of Phil's published work on his website, philklay.com.
Yo. His name, dude.
All right. You can find most of Phil's published work on his website, philklay.com. We especially recommend his essay on the citizen soldier for the Brookings Institution and his article on the plunging morale of American service members for The Atlantic.
Thanks for joining us today on Thank You for Your Service. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at TYFYS_podcast. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, so you'll get our next episode as soon as it's released.
Thank You for Your Service is produced by Haz Yano, Aishwarya Kumar, and Mary Martha Maclay. Our publisher is David Raban. This podcast is a production of the University of Chicago Public Policy Podcasts and is in no way intended to reflect the official positions of the Department of Defense or any other military entity. I'm Thomas Krasnican.
And I'm Nick Paraiso. See you next time.
As China's role grows greater on the global stage, you want to stay up to date on the issues most pressing to China both domestically and internationally. Check out the Just China podcast for in-depth analysis on recent headlines and investigative reports on Chinese matters that affect our globalized world. We are Just China. Find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you enjoy your podcast listening.